So ClawHub has over 13,000 skills on their platform, and Snike Audit just found that 13.4% of them are malicious. So that's over 1,000 skills sitting right next to legitimate tools. And in this video I'm going to show you the 5 skills I install on every single deployment and the ones that actually make OpenClaw useful. And then I'm going to show you the 3 types of malicious skills that are actively hacking people right now and how to protect yourself. So if you install skills from ClawHub without watching this first, you're essentially just rolling the dice. So let's get into it. Quick context for everyone new. Just think of OpenClaw as an operating system and skills as apps. So without skills, your agent can talk, but it can't do anything. A skill is just a markdown file with a YAML front matter. There's no complex APIs, there's no heavy frameworks, it's just plain text that both you and the AI can read, and that's it. So OpenClaw uses something called progressive disclosure. At startup, it only loads the name and description of each skill. And when a task matches, it reads the full instructions on demand. So this is why OpenClaw feels fast. It's not loading everything into memory at once. So skills come from 3 places: bundled with OpenClaw, workspace skills in your project, and managed skills from ClawHub. And the first 2 are very safe. The third one is where the problems are. So now let me show you the 5 I trust, starting with the one that changes everything. Now if you only want to install one skill, just make sure it's GOG. So this connects your Gmail, your Google Calendar, your contacts sheets and docs through a single CLI. And it's 1 skill and you get 6 Google products. So here's what this actually means in practice. So you set up a morning inbox rollup that categorizes your emails by urgency. You can then draft replies for the routine ones and it highlights what actually needs your attention. It will then run a cron schedule before you wake up. This supports multiple accounts, whether it's your personal or work account, and the agent knows which context to use for which. And there's also OAuth setup that takes about 5 minutes. So this is the skill that turns OpenClaw from a chatbot into a personal assistant, but it's just burning tokens every time it reads through your full inbox, which is why skill number 2 matters just as much. QMD indexes your knowledge base locally using BM25 and vector search. So instead of sending entire documents to the API, every time your agent needs information, it grabs only the paragraphs that are relevant. The result is that you get up to 70% reduction in token usage. And if you've watched my cost video, you know how much that matters. So this is the single biggest cost lever after model tiering. The original concept came from Toby at Shopify. The idea that local search should handle retrieval and not an LLM. So QMD implements that perfectly, and there's no API calls for search and everything stays on your machine. And if you're running GOG and reading emails every morning, QMD makes that dramatically cheaper and they just go really well together. Speaking of pairing, skill 3 ties everything together. Mission Control aggregates your tasks, your calendar events, your action items, and pending messages into a single daily briefing. So if you think of it as the orchestrator, it can pull from GOG or from your task system or from whatever you've connected, and it will deliver one unified summary. You can even combine it with the X research skill and you get automated intel briefings every morning. You can see what happened in your industry, what your competitors posted, and what needs your attention today. And it delivers it via any channel, whether that's Telegram, WhatsApp, Slack, Discord, or email. You can wake up to a personalized summary before you even open your laptop. And this is the skill that makes most people just say, okay, this is actually useful. So for skill 4 and 5, the first one is the humanizer that will detect 24 different AI writing patterns. And essentially it will strip them out. So there's also a code specific version that removes unnecessary comments. And if your agent writes anything that other humans will read, you definitely need this. The 5th skill is Playwright. So this will give your agent full Chrome browser control. Whether that's click in, type in screenshots, or scrolling, it will use a snapshot system to understand page structure, which is way more efficient than vision-based approaches. So the Chrome extension mode for existing sessions with your cookies, and its headless mode for background automation. So these 5 skills together are my production stack, and I install them on every single deployment. So all 5 of these skills are available and tested and vetted on my marketplace. You can head to remoteopenclaw.com/marketplace. So there's free configs and plus some security hardening audits. And if you want all 5 pre-configured out of the box. Now for the part that nobody is telling you about. So a Snike security audit found over 1,000 skills that were malicious on ClawHub. And these weren't broken skills, they weren't poorly written skills, they were intently and actively malicious. So there were keyloggers, backdoors, credential stealers, all disguised as legitimate productivity skills. And there's over 135,000 OpenClaw instances that have been exposed on the public internet right now. So if you're running one of them with a malicious skill installed, you're not just at risk, you're already compromised. And here are the 3 attack patterns you need to know about. First one, which is the atomic stealer. So this is malware that's been found inside professional looking ClawHub skills. It does look legitimate, it's like a clean readme, reasonable download count, and it has recent updates. But when you install it, the install script will quietly read your OpenClaw JSON, and it will then exfiltrate every API key to an external server. So whether that's your Anthropic key, OpenAI key, your Google Auth tokens, it's all just gone. And because skills and markdown files can reference install scripts, you don't see it unless you read the source code first. And what is the worst part about this? Well, some of these skills actually work as advertised, and they do the thing they promise. They just also steal your credentials in the background, and you'd never know unless you checked. The second attack is the memory MD poisoning. So this skill injects instructions into your agent's memory files. So this is insidious because it changes your agent's behavior permanently, and your agent will start to ignore certain commands or quietly copy conversation data to an external endpoint. And because it's in memory, it survives session resets, and you just restart OpenClaw and the poisoning is still there. The third attack is the hidden cron drains. So the skill registers background cron jobs that don't show up in the normal UI. It will then burn tokens 24/7. Some just waste your money, whereas others send your conversation data to external servers on a schedule. Now remember the cost video, a cron job every 15 minutes is like almost 3,000 API calls a month. Now just imagine those calls are also exfiltrating your data. So 1 in 5 ClawHub packages has critical issues, and that's just not an edge case, that's the default experience if you install without checking. So how do you protect yourself? Well, here's the exact checklist I use. So number 1 is check the source. So who built this skill? Do they have a GitHub profile? And do they have other skills? If it's autonomous with no history, then that's just a red flag and I'd skip it. Number 2 is to read the skill markdown file before installing it. If the skill references external URLs that you don't recognize or asks for permissions it shouldn't need, then just skip it. Number 3 is that you can run the OpenClaw skills list --show-crons after installing anything. And you can check for hidden cron jobs immediately. So if a calendar skill registered a cron that runs every 5 minutes, then that's just very suspicious. And legitimate skills don't need to phone home that often. Number 4 is to use separate accounts. So never give your agent your personal credentials or a dedicated Google account. Now, Tech with Tim actually does this. He runs a completely separate Google account for his bot and only forwards emails from trusted senders. Number 5 is to use vetted sources. And don't gamble with random ClawHub installs. It's all packaged at remoteopenclaw.com/marketplace. There's free skills to get started. And again, ClawHub has a 13% malicious skill rate. So you can check out the link in the description. Now, if you've got these skills sorted, the next thing that's costing you money is your model config. So watch this next.